What one man will not do for you, another man will. Stop chasing after a man that's not making you a priority.
Okay, first of all, women don't hit a wall. Sorry, it's not a thing.
By the year 2030, about 45% of women between the ages of 25 to 44 are going to be single.
The wall truly is inevitable. They're struggling because of themselves, not men.
Here's the truth. Men in their 40s have hit the wall, okay? If they are unmarried...
Guys, I'm this close to giving up on dating.
If a guy is giving you too much attention, what does that do for you?
Major turnoff.
The lesson here is you cannot satisfy these women. If you treat them right, you get left. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Oh my God, I learned so much from this app, and today I learned that women expire at 25. I've been expired for 9 years already. What am I gonna do? I mean, I don't even have a burial plot yet. At least I have the cats.
Ladies, let's forget about the whole if he wanted to, he would. We're living, if he won't, another man will.
I'm 42, and that means half of my life is over.
I'm not okay being single. I don't want to be single, and I get depressed.
As a person who has been single for me personally my whole life.
I'm 53. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself.
I get my feelings hurt. I don't want to be a hookup.
3 failed relationships since my marriage had ended.
And I have really missed kind of having someone to talk to.
The grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence. I'd like to hear what they're telling their closest friends who encourage them to divorce their good men husbands. The problem isn't finding your person. It's finding a good person for you and working with each other. These ladies let go of the good man in their life due to unrealistic expectations in the name of the standards. The one thing that all these women have in common is the fact that they've all hit the wall. Some of these women participate in hookup culture, and when they're done smashing everyone, that's when they're finally ready to settle down. But it doesn't work that way. What they're experiencing right now is called accountability, something they've always tried to run away from. This is the phase that these women experience when life is holding them accountable for their poor decisions. These are also the types of women who preach about not needing a man until they actually need one to be present. And I don't think men want refurbished cars. It's only fair they get the newest model.
Aren't you worried? About what? Oh my God, yeah.
I think the biggest difference between this generation of women and the generation of women that came before us is that we will just be single before we stay in an unhappy marriage. We will just be single before we let a man come into our lives and tell us a damn thing. We will just be single before we are the only people in our house cooking, cleaning, parenting, etc., etc. We're changing the script because ain't no way a man is gonna profit off of my unpaid labor for the rest of my life.
Okay, first of all, women don't hit a wall. Sorry, it's not a thing. If any man tells you that a woman hits a wall, that is not a man you need to be dealing with. Women don't hit walls. Women always have value. Women actually increase in value in a lot of ways. So anyone who tells you that women have hit a wall, not a thing.
I understand why women have to cope like this about hitting the wall by telling themselves lies, because if they accepted it, it would drive them insane. If women fully acknowledge the reality of hitting the wall, that age plays a significant role in their dating prospects and overall desirability. It could lead to a lot of emotional turmoil. The idea of aging, especially in a society that glorifies youth, can be difficult to face. So, many women convince themselves that they are more empowered, desirable, or independent as they get older. It's like it's a mental defense to avoid feeling like their best years are behind them. They tell themselves these lies to maintain a sense of control and to protect their self-esteem, because accepting the truth would mean confronting a harsh reality.
I remember in college, there was so much pressure. You see all the girls going on dates and hooking up with random people, and you think that that's the way you're supposed to be, only to realize that there is so much power in preserving your own mystery, in having the self-respect to be the one who makes the choice, about knowing what you want and what you value and not being afraid to communicate that. Because the problem is that so many women are afraid to communicate. They assume the intentions of the other person, and then when they don't match up, they say, oh, he's a liar, he was just using me. Like, maybe you just didn't communicate what you want clearly.
I had a man say to me once that the reason that he likes dating younger women is because they're not so angry. Literally was like, I like younger women because they're still so sweet. Like, yeah, babe, it's a lack of experience with your literal gender. They don't know yet. Nobody likes an angry woman, right? It's okay to be a little angry, though.
Damn, that woman sounded a little angry while explaining this. I'm joking, but that's one of the reasons why men date younger women. Another one is these women lose that femininity softness they once had before becoming an angry woman. As women age, many become more jaded or frustrated, whether it's from past relationships, career stress, or just life in general. That softness and nurturing quality that men appreciate can fade, replaced by a more hardened, sometimes even resentful demeanor. I mean, what kind of man would want that chaos in his life anyway?
Currently, I don't date, and it's purely for the reason that I am exhausted.
I am done with all of these games. I'm done with men.
Why is it so hard to find your person?
God, am I lonely sometimes.
I have a hot take. So the rhetoric that women expire at age 30 is just a way for society to keep us small, because as women go into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, beyond, we are so powerful. We have stopped putting up with the bullshit. We are speaking our needs. We are living life on our own terms, and society does not like that because society likes to control women. But here's the thing. At this point in our lives, we have gained life experience, we have gained wisdom, we have the confidence, and honestly, we still look great while doing it, so sorry. I'm turning 30 this month, literally in a couple of weeks, and I couldn't feel better about myself, honestly. And society has made me scared to turn 30 as a woman for my entire life. And now that it's actually coming to it, there's nothing to be afraid of. Actually, I am so excited because I'm stepping into my power, and I have been slowly sort of building up to this point in my 20s. And now that I'm in my 30s, like, I am unbothered, and that's something that society has not told us. All they've told us is that, age 30 is when things start going downhill, and that is just so wrong. It's when things start to go uphill, honestly.
That's a lie. I don't know what power these women derived from getting older, but it's nonsense. The reality is that for many women, turning 30 is a milestone, especially when it comes to finding a husband and starting a family. Biologically, women are aware that their fertility declines as they age, and men who are looking for long-term partners often prioritize youth and fertility. This isn't just about societal expectations, it's also a natural part of the dating market. Men who are ready to settle down often look for women in their 20s because they want to maximize their chances of having children and building a family. At 30, women may still be attractive and successful, but the pool of men willing to offer marriage tends to shrink, particularly among men who have more options and can choose younger women.
If you're not going to spend on me, get out of my DM. Do not be wasting my time. I'm not interested.
Well, there is something to be said about being upfront and honest.
I think that's all you should know. I'm very expensive. I have a very expensive taste. I'm like trying to get another piano.
Oh my, there's at least one word for that, if not several.
So, make it make sense.
So to make it make sense in the easiest possible way, that individual sounds like they're charging for their time.
I cannot be wasting my time on someone that's not spending on me. You know what I mean? Does it add up?
It kind of makes a person wonder what exactly that would add up to.
Your roster is ruining your chance at having a healthy relationship, and let me explain. 99% of the time when we have rosters, we're not honest about it. We're not telling people that we're dating 4 to 5 people other than them, because we all know that that's a turnoff. If you went up and told 90% of people that you're dating 4 to 5 people, even if they have their own roster, they're leaving. And if a roster is something that you cannot be honest about, you're already basing your relationship off of lies. Self-preserving lies. And if you think you're going to flip a switch and stop telling self-preserving lies, you're fucking dumb. My best advice for anybody who is looking to have a wholesome, healthy relationship is to date one person at a time. You don't need plan A through D. You need to give plan A your best shot. And then if plan A falls through, you find a new plan A. That's how it's supposed to work. Just try it. Like, no harm, no foul. Just try it once.
I dated a girl, about 15 dates. She told me she was still dating other guys. I walked away that day and never looked back. Rosters. Another reason to just not date in this generation. I think having a roster is so classless. And the illusion of options is destroying people's perception of healthy relationships. Having a roster means you're for the streets. Having a roster for these women is them having many options they can use for free meals when they go on dates. They don't have any real intentions of settling down with a man. It's just fun to them to waste a man's time, effort, and hard-earned money. These women will never be able to get into real relationships because they're so used to having many people at their disposal. Everyone wants a real thing until it becomes real. Or maybe it's not real that they're looking for. Maybe it's dopamine.
What is the hardest part about being single in your 50s? Is it that you still remember how great it felt to fall in love and think about getting married and having kids? Is it that we have had so many bad experiences in a marriage that we're now divorced and we don't want to repeat them? What is it? What makes this so hard? We are all looking for the same thing. We all want to be happy, at peace, and possibly have somebody to share it with. Why is it so hard?
I've never understood why men treat women in their 30s as if they are like the most undesirable things on the planet.
I just want to throw my 2 cents in here because I'm 34 years old and I have received more male attention than I ever have in my 20s. And the reason why is because I have my stuff together a little bit more and I'm a lot more confident and have a sense of self, and people respond to that. So there are going to be some guys that prefer women in their 20s, and that's okay. But you're still going to be desirable to men. It's just that you're going to be attracting a different demographic when you enter your 30s, not the old demographic that you attracted, because you're not the same person you used to be. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You are absolutely beautiful and welcome to the 30s club, girl.
Again, it's not that women in their 30s become completely undesirable. They just notice a sharp decline in the level of attention they used to receive. In their 20s, many women are used to turning heads wherever they go, having multiple men interested in them, and getting offers from men of higher value. But as they hit their 30s, the attention slows down dramatically, and it can feel like a wake-up call. This can be shocking for some women, especially if they've built a lot of their confidence around the attention they received during their younger years. They start to realize that men, particularly the ones they would prefer, are now focusing their attention on younger women.
Okay, here's why dating is so much harder for a woman than a man.
Girl, it's not. Dating is much harder for men. And here are a few reasons why. 1, women want men to initiate. Automatically, this makes it more difficult for men. You're telling me that you just get to sit back and select from men, while men have to bravely spark a conversation out of midair? And somehow that's easier for him? Yeah, no. Number 2, female standards are sky high. Men don't require much to fall in love. If you take care of yourself and you're just pleasant to be around, they will crawl over broken glass for you. But guys have to make a certain amount of money, be a certain height, have immense charisma. You get the point. And number 3, our culture hates men. Masculinity is vilified in our society, and thus men are viewed with preconceived notions that women simply don't have to deal with. And that's something that has to change.
And the last one is, men have to pay for literally everything for a woman who's not adding any value to his life. And these women who expect this treatment believe they deserve it solely because they're women. It's as if their mere presence is enough for them to demand financial support without offering any emotional, intellectual, or practical contribution to the relationship. These types of women seem to operate under the assumption that just being a woman entitles them to be catered to, without having to earn or reciprocate that care.
It's so hard to want to date when there's one person you want. Because I don't like anyone else.
This is for all the women in their 20s who are afraid of getting older. I was once you. I was once her. But as a 35-year-old woman, I can honestly tell you that things get better and better. She's commenting on a video where we talk about the dating pool and how it shrinks the older that you get as a woman. And that is true, but it's not because women are expiring. Women are so much more than the guys that we're with or the guys that are attracted to us. And I know that runs counter to what our society tells us, and that is by design to keep women under control. But let me tell you this, life gets better. Your friendships will get better because you're more secure with who you are. You'll understand what you want out of life and you'll get it. You'll stop being so insecure, which is ironic because you get some wrinkle. But with age comes an acceptance of who we are. And that is the best thing ever.
Not true. Men always want the younger, more attractive girls. Sorry, it's reality. Older women always lie to younger women to make the same mistakes just like you, because it satisfies your needs to not be the only one who got fooled. It's not about attractiveness solely. It's ease of having children. If neither want children, then age doesn't matter. Women are the worst enemy for other women. This is another lie these women tell themselves and younger women, that as they get older, their lives will improve. In reality, reports show that the least happy demographic is people who are 42, single, and childless. By the way, being child-free and childless is something that these women preach a lot, quite often. But despite the frequent preaching about the benefits of being child-free, these women often face a stark reality. Their lives don't necessarily get better. They can end up feeling more isolated and unfulfilled. The picture they paint of freedom and self-sufficiency often masks deeper issues. But nonetheless, these women's lives do not get better at all. They just sip on wine and play with their cats.